Hello, 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 everybody. It's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick here. Give me just a minute to get situated. I think I have got this worked out maybe where the screen is a bit closer, hopefully this time. Hello, hello. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope that you have had a fabulous weekend. And as this is Monday, which is normally my Make It Monday, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for coming. I am going to continue right along with the 13 days of Halloween treats, with day 2 being this super fabulous little lollipop envelope treat holder. Isn't it just the cutest little treat holder ever? I love it. Now, I have to admit that this treat holder contains one of my husband's favorite Halloween treats, and that is the caramel apple pops. He loves these things. So I had to go ahead and get this treat holder made so that he could have these and I wouldn't be missing a treat. So he loves them and they're great. So all right, I see folks are coming in. Hello, thank you so much for joining me today. All right, today's project is featuring the Frightfully Cute Stampin' Die Bundle. We're going to be using the Which Way to the Candy stamp, and we're also going to be using the spider web, the circle die, the witch, and this fabulous label right here. So there are tons of great possibilities, as you can see, with these dies. Oh, and we're going to be using these little stars too. Super cute, but so tiny. All right, friends, let me show you what we have. We're starting out with a piece of 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 cardstock, and we're going to be scoring it on all 4 sides, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But basically, we're making a little envelope, so it's going to be folding over like this, and then the bottom will come up, and that is where our treat will go in, okay? So you'll need a piece of 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch cardstock. I've also pre-cut, to save for time, a piece of the black glimmer paper. I don't know if you can see all that beautiful sparkle in there. This is Dana approved glitter. I love this paper. It is so pretty. As you can see, it's got some serious shimmer going on. And so I have cut this, and actually let's do it this way so you can really see that beautifully detailed spider web. So pretty, right? And then this is the moon. I have stamped it in Bumblebee ink and went ahead and die cut it with the round die in the Stampin' Die bundle. And the witch hat I die cut from Gorgeous Grape cardstock. And then the banner I die cut from Granny Apple Green cardstock. And then I stamped the sentiment on a scrap and fussy cut around it. And as you can see, I'm not too worried about fussy cutting around individual letters. I'm just kind of, you know, loosely fussy cutting. So this is very quick and easy to do. All right. So let's get back to our cardstock base here. Let me get these little pieces out of the way. I want to get back to the base here so that I can show you how we're going to score and cut this. So you're going to need your trimmer. And I'll tell you why I'm using the trimmer instead of the Simply Scored board. That is because we are actually scoring at an angle, okay? So it's a lot easier to score at this angle than it is on the trimmer than it is to try to do it on the Simply Scored board, okay? So we have our 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock. And what you want to do is take the left-hand point and put it at the 1 3/4 inch mark over here. Okay. So we have the 1 3/4 inch mark there. On this side, you want your middle points here and here to be lined up on the 1 1/4 inch line. Okay. So we're going to hold this point on the 1 3/4 inch. Make sure it's where it needs to go. And then we're going to just pivot this side until both points are on the 1 1/4 inch line. Okay. Hi, Frenchie. How are you, darling? Thanks for coming. So 1 3/4 on this side. Holding that down, pivot the paper until both points that are in the middle are on the 1 1/4 inch line. Okay. Once you have that, we're going to score. We'll turn the paper and do that on all 4 points. All right. So once again, I've got my point right here at 1 3/4, and I'm going to pivot my paper until both of these points are at 1 1/4. Score. Turn it again. 1 3/4. And then pivot till both of the points are on 1 1/4. Oh, I just saw somebody else say something. I'm sorry, I just missed you. I'll go back and look at the messages here in just a second. It disappeared on me. But hello. All right, last one. Once again, lining it up at 1 3/4 here. And then we're going to pivot our paper until both of the points are on 1 1/4. All right. And then score that line as well. Okay. So now you end up right here. Okay. Oh, Frenchie says it's blurry. I hope that's better. I'm so sorry if it went blurry on you there for a second. Please tell me if it's still blurry, okay? All right. So now I have all 4 of my sides scored. You can see the score lines there. We're going to cut away each of these 4 little triangles. All right. So just take your snips and snip those little triangles off on all 4 sides. Just like so. Right, there we go. Okay. Am I still blurry? Wendy, could you confirm for me if I'm blurry or not? Miss Frenchie said that I was a bit blurry, so hopefully it was just a momentary thing. Okay, now you have something that looks like this. Oh, it is blurry. Oh no. Okay, let me see if maybe I can finagle things just a little bit. Maybe it was a little too close. Last week we were a little far away. Maybe this week we're a little too close. Technology is always super fabulous. Okay, how's that? Any better at all? There we go. How's that? Is that better? Please tell me it's better. Oh, yes. Tech is so special. No, it's not better. Huh. Okay. Well, shoot. I'm not sure what's going on there. It may be you. Oh, Judy says that she thinks it's YouTube. You know what? I'm telling you, something weird has been going on with social media this week or today, hasn't it? I mean, I couldn't get on Facebook at all most of the day, and Instagram was down. So Facebook, Instagram, and I was wondering about YouTube because I thought that YouTube was owned or bought out by Facebook. Anyway, I'm not sure. So yeah, so we will go ahead and keep going. I'm really sorry about it being blurry, but hopefully Hopefully you can see well enough at least to know what's going on here. And all right, so we have our 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and we've done all of the scoring. We've cut the little corner notches out, so now we have this. Now I want to burnish all of my lines. So I'm just going to go around and burnish all 4 of those little panels. Here we go. All right. Oh yeah, I will definitely be posting the project on my blog. Actually, you'll be able to find all of the measurements and everything else posted to the blog here in just a little bit. So shortly after I go live, I go over and post the blog post. So you can visit my blog at thestampinchick.com, and you'll be able to see picture and instructions and all the good stuff. So yeah, if it's a little blurry now, I'm sorry. Hopefully it won't be that way every time, but we'll keep plugging along. All right. So now that we have each of the sides burnished, we're just going to assemble our envelope. And to do that, we're folding all of the flaps over. So we have our left flap and our right flap folded over. And now if you try to fold the bottom, you'll notice that it's really, really bulky right there. So only on this bottom edge am I going to just lightly snip the corner away. Okay, so I'm just cutting a tiny little fragment, like I'm mitering that corner that's already a corner. Okay, so just a tiny bit, and only on the bottom of the left flap and the right flap. So now you can see, hopefully, that there's not any, let me just make sure it can focus in there, that there's not any bulk right here, because we just got rid of the bulk. And so now when you fold the flap over, it seals over beautifully, right? Excuse me. Okay, so now we want to apply some glue on here, and we want to make sure that it has enough opportunity to set up before we put our lollipop in. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of my liquid glue here. Excuse me. And this is a brand new bottle, so I'm hoping that I don't ooze out glue everywhere. Okay, and what I want to do is put a little bit down here so that I can put these two together, and I want to put a little bit here on this end. So I'm putting them on the tabs so that the two will stick together. Now you want to be really careful not to put too much, or you'll close up your envelope, right? And we definitely don't want that. All right, now I'm laying my flap back over again. I'm making sure that it lines up good, and now I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on the top edges of this bottom flap on the inside. Okay, so it'll look like that. I've left a little bit of gap. I didn't go all the way down here. I stopped just short of that fold, but you could go right here to the corner point. Okay, right here to the corner point, up to the edge, and just on the edge. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and fold this over, and then I'm just going to hold it for a second while I'm talking to you about the project, and I'm going to give it the opportunity to close up. And actually, what I may do is put it underneath a spool. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and build our embellishment piece now, shall we? Okay, now what we're going to be doing is we're assembling our embellishment piece right here. And so I have pretty much everything on dimension. However, I want to take just a little bit of adhesive right here on the bottom center of the witch's hat. There we go. And I'm going to put the spots from the moon over here on the left-hand side. And I want to just put my witch's hat right there, just like the moon is the witch. Okay. Dimensionals. Let me grab those. I love the black dimensionals because they have the big dimensionals and little dimensionals both in the same package. So you get 2 sheets of each, which is great. All right, now I want to put, not the big ones, I want to put a couple of dimensionals relatively centered on the little green label. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to put it right here across the moon. Okay, so it looks like that. I'm going to put a big dimensional on the front and a big dimensional on the back of the spider web, and I'm going to put them right in top of each other in the middle, so that way one isn't sticky through the other side. Okay, and then this on the front, I'm going to, and I have a little dimensional or a large dimensional on the back. All right, so we have that. Now I want to add a little bit of glue to the bottom of my sentiment, just like how I did with the witch hat, except now I'm also going to grab one of the bigger black dimensionals and put up at the top, just like that. Okay, now the reason for that is because I'm going to stick the bottom of the sentiment to the front of the label, and there's going to be a gap here where we raise the label up. So I want to make sure that I've got dimension on the back of the sentiment here so that it balances out the size and height of the layers right there, okay? And that'll make really good sense here in just a second. All right, so I have glued the bottom directly to the label, and then the top piece has dimension, and if I can get it to focus in, you can see there's layer between the moon and the spider web. There's layer between the moon and the label, and there's layer between the moon and the sentiment. So these are on the same plane. They're the same height, okay? Perfect. And now we'll take our treat holder and a regular little hole punch, and I'm just gonna notch the bottom out of it to make a little hole for our lollipop stick to go through. So let me just attempt to line this up, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, I'm gonna try to get it as close as I can. And then I'm just notching the tiniest little bit, okay? So you can see right there, it's maybe half or a third of the actual hole punch. All right, now let me give it a little flex here. Okay, and then I'll take the backing off of my spider web, and I'm going to line it up right in the middle of my little treat holder there. Okay, super, super cute, right? And then the green label is just gonna really make it pop. Check that out. And then just like that, we have a fabulous little treat holder. Now we're not finished. We've got to embellish it just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some liquid glue, and I'm just going to put a couple of little tiny dots. I told you we were using these little tiny stars, and they are so tiny. What is it? That rainbow glimmer paper. This is in the annual catalog. Is absolutely beautiful paper. I actually die cut it from the yellow end, right, to make sparkly stars. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because they're so tiny, I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to be very, very careful to just lightly touch where I want there to be glue. Okay, so I'll do there. I'll do one over here. How about one on the witch's hat? And then one over here. Okay. So I'm just lightly touching them. And then I'm using the putty from the top of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to use it to attach these stars. Just like that. Okay, so let me grab another one. Okay, grab another one. This one's teeny tiny. There we go. That one's got to be switched. All right, next. Come on, press you down there. There we go. And then the last one right here on the witch's hat. All right, there we go. All right, friends, there we have it. We've got our little stars on. Now, the last thing we need to do is use some of our braided, black and white braided trim. This is from the Playful Pets ribbon trim pack. Ribbon pack, trim combo pack, you know, whatever the heck it's called. But it's from the Playful Pets anyway. And I'm going to just tie this along the bottom just to give it a really cute little finishing touch here. I don't really need that much of a tail though, so there we go. All right, and you folks know, if you've been with me for a while, I don't typically cut and measure my ribbon. I just tie it directly on the spool. That way I don't waste any. However, a bow is approximately 10 inches. So somewhere in the vicinity of 9 to 10 inches, you should be about right, okay? So there we have it. Super, super cute. I am in love with this little treat holder. I think it's just adorable. It's just as cute as it can be, right? Okay, friends, I would like you to give thumbs up if you liked this project. Make sure that you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already. And hopefully you are, because especially in the next several days where we're doing the 13 treats of Halloween, you're going to want to make sure you get notified and you don't want to miss out on any of the projects. Also, make sure that you head over to my blog and follow my blog. That way you get the notifications and the little ding dings when my posts go live, so that you can see the tutorials. I will generally have the templates over on my blog. That way you can just print them out. And then they're a little cleaner to see and read than my chicken scratches. So anyway, I hope you guys like this cute little project. You know, you can make a whole bunch of these for the neighbors, for co-workers, for whoever, and they will absolutely love them. All right, friends. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I'm so sorry that the screen wasn't very clear. All I can say is technology has been on the fritz for some reason today, but there will be clear pictures over on my blog at thestampinchick.com, and you'll find the tutorials over there as well, so be sure to check it out there. And I will see you guys right here again on my YouTube channel tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye for now.